This summer, my social media has been flooded with videos like this.
They're planning to cross the channel illegally.
The United Kingdom is being invaded.
Do you think that they give you money in England?
Yes.
People die in the channel, right? It's horrific.
You know what?
And it's
I
slavery.
don't care anymore.
Maybe that says something about the state of my algorithms, but I think it also says something about the state of the country. Migration has been the #1 political talking point for the last 3 governments.
Stopping the boats is a priority for the British people.
The so-called small boats crisis is the most visible symbol of that issue, which for those on the political right explains, well, everything. Keir Starmer is competing with Nigel Farage to show that he is the toughest on migration. The result is that Reform's poll ratings just keep getting better and better. It's not just about what you hear in the media. In August, the government announced it would spend £100 million to boost border security and smash the gangs. And British taxpayer money is funding French police, boats and drones to intercept small boats. But the more money, attention and outrage that the migrant crisis gets, the worse it seems to become. So what the hell is actually going on? I'm heading to Calais to see what effect government policies have on people on the ground, people trying to reach the UK, and on the so-called invasion. One thing right-wing politicians and media are obsessed with is the idea that the French police are doing nothing.
The French police, about 10 vehicles here, parked up in the middle of the day, doing nothing in their hotel, which we probably pay for.
And we've given £800 million to France, and we didn't see a police officer the whole day.
But when we spoke to people on the ground in Calais, we heard something different. In Calais, a constantly shifting population of displaced people live day to day in improvised camps, using whatever tents and sleeping equipment they can get hold of as they wait to make the crossing. We are on a kind of stakeout with human rights observers who are kind of trying to document the police who every 48 hours evict 4 of the regular camps that people stay in Calais. We were told that usually after a few arbitrary arrests, people just set up camp again a few meters away from where they were evicted. So what exactly is this whole process meant to achieve? The moment we started filming, the police let us know that they were not happy about us being there. Saying go on the pavement. Oui.
Monsieur, personne ne parle français?
We kind of got pulled over and told to not film the license plates of police cars.
Vous avez filmé les voitures de police?
They checked our IDs. They seem to be questioning the National Union of Journalists, whether it's a legit body.
Journaliste?
Ouais. They were looking through our producer's phone. It seems like they were just trying to maybe spook us a bit or see if we knew our rights.
No text who prohibit the fact of filming the plate.
The number plate.
Yeah.
So it's an intimidation?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so it's like a minute down the road from the police station. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They just keep coming. Vans of riot police with all the gear, like helmets, truncheons.
Tear gas as well. You see those guns?
Oh yeah,
those are tear gas.
Tear gas. Jesus Christ. So police are like stopping and searching a guy. There's one of the camps that people live in down here. Apparently this gets evicted all the time. But yeah, these guys over here are getting frisked. And so I'm watching some tents being taken away in the name of like an eviction. But from what I've been hearing, people back here like really quickly with tents. Like it's not an eviction as such because people just come back.
Well, yeah, I mean, once the police clear, people will return. But I mean, it's just because they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can arrest some people, you can take them to detention camps, but the reality is that this experience is just going to make them want to stay in Calais and cross more and take more risks. And if the police take your life jacket and yet every morning you have to wake up with your child to, the sight of someone with a tear gas canister and batons, every other day, then you're going to put your child on that boat, you're going to go on that boat, you're going to do whatever you can to cross. And it's kind of insane in the terms of like the idea that this is justified for the sake of trying to prevent people from crossing or to somehow smash the smuggler gangs or save lives. They're doing none of that. These are just desperate people who are in a situation that has made them desperate with no support, being brutalized.
Increase the precarity of the people, it's the only consequences. People don't change their mind. Okay, I will go back to Sudan because you stole my tent. Okay, I don't want to go to UK anymore. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so we're at the second eviction site. Same amount of police are now evicting a site by this football stadium. Can we come through as journalists? Come through? Journalist?
Journaliste, vous passez pas.
Non. Pourquoi?
Parce qu'il y a une opération de police.
Apparently at this particular campsite there are a lot of families. So it's possible that what's happening is very much like what happened at the last place, but a lot of families getting kicked out of their tents and having them confiscated. But we can't obviously see that for ourselves right now because the police won't allow us. There seem to be really quite a lot of tents being thrown in that van. So a lot of people probably sleeping without tents tonight, I guess. Do you see people being deterred? Do you think that works?
No, it absolutely don't work, and it's like to comply with the public opinion. The reason why people want to leave is not, it's because of what's happening in their country and not about the police here.
So it looks like that's the end of eviction number 3. We've just seen a load of like mattresses and sleeping equipment and tents and stuff being chucked into some vans. If you did want to end the gangs and the smuggling of people, how would you do that?
Only one thing to do is just to create a legal way to go to UK, and it's the only fact you can do to fight smugglers. If you smash one, other one will come. So they know the things to do. They just have the politics doesn't have the will to do it.
It's clearly not true that the police are doing nothing. They seem to be making the lives of displaced people even more miserable. But if this is supposed to deter people from coming to the UK, it's not working. 2 days before we arrived in Calais, over 1,000 people successfully crossed to the UK on small boats. For this reason, our trip was quieter than we were expecting. We wanted to speak to people on the ground in Calais who have seen migration happening up close and ask for their take on the reality of this topic that has created hysteria in the UK. One question the right-wing press constantly ask is this.
Why not stay in France? France is also a safe country.
The people that are here, they want to go to the UK. So, I mean, they will try again and again until they will be in the UK, because also they are stuck in the Dublin system.
The Dublin Protocol, could you explain that?
So yeah, according to the Dublin Protocol, you get a fingerprint and you should stay in the first country in which you land, which is considered a safe country. And if you have your fingerprint in a country, then you are prevented from asking asylum in another country.
A lot of them have been rejected in other countries in Europe. I think that's probably one of the most common things that we hear. They would have rather stayed in Germany or Sweden or the Netherlands or wherever they happen to be, but because they had their asylum claim rejected after a number of years, it's really nearly impossible to claim asylum in any other country, and so they've decided that the UK is kind of their last hope.
The stuff you said about people who they're stuck in the Dublin process and they can't apply to like another European country. Do you say that's like most people?
In 2021, it was more than 50% of the people that were in the camps.
Because I guess that's a Brexit thing, basically.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The Brexit doesn't help.
2 nights ago, 1,000 people crossed, and others maybe failing to cross?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Always. We were contacted by between 350 people and 400 that failed the crossings.
Wow.
Between Ardelot, which is 100 kilometers away in the south, and Dunkerque, in a huge area.
Yeah. And why do they fail?
In Ardelot, 2 boats tried, but the people were stopped by the police on the beach. with like tear gas, and I think it was like a helicopter from the La Gendarmerie.
And is it police like tear gassing people on the beaches? Is that something that happens a lot?
Yeah, yes.
Policing has become more intense over the last few months?
Yeah.
So what's changed?
The police tear gas regardless of the people that they encounter. So lots of time lots of people have mentioned to me, like, why do they tear gas when there is a 1-month-old baby or a 2-month-old baby? I had last year like a family calling me, telling me like my child is like, his eyes are like burning so much and he was a 2-month-old baby.
Just over a year ago, I remember a woman, she had a baby on her back. Her baby was 1, and she told us this story, how she got in the water up to her neck, and then the police showed up and started spraying tear gas, and she had to run back to shore with her baby on her back and tear gas being sprayed while she heard her baby coughing the whole way, and she thought her baby was just going to die while she was there in the water.
One of the huge things right now is that the average number of people on board is increasing a lot because like it's also a thing linked to the securization and the police presence. There is less boats available on the coastline because of the pressure on smuggling groups, but the same amount of people were trying to cross, and the people are trying as fast as possible to avoid the police presence. So, which means that they don't have the time to get in the boat in a proper way, like to stabilizing the boat. And many deaths are because of that situation right now, and some people just like crashed at the bottom of the boat, and just like the boat is full of people, so they can't breathe and they die like this. 2 weeks ago, a woman died like this near Dunkerque.
Just like being crushed in a boat?
At the bottom of the boat.
The story Angel told is sadly common. As we left Calais, we heard the news that the previous night, 3 people had died trying to make the crossing. But while we've heard a lot in this film about the difficulties faced by people migrating, we are yet to hear from them directly. There's a reason for that. This might have something to do with the way that they are portrayed in the media, or the way that far-right agitators show up where they live with cameras and try and intimidate them.
Let's see some passports!
But during the course of the shoot, me and my colleagues spoke to a lot of people trying to reach the UK, and we did manage to collect some audio testimony. Here's what they had to say.
I left my country in 25 April this year. I have a bigger problem in my country, just like about sexuality. I was manipulated by some of people I know. We had some debts I couldn't pay at the specific time, so they make some videos about me. They put some drugs in a drink. I was like between sleep and awake.
And they took some explicit video? Or?
Yeah, the photos were sent to my family. My family is a conservative. They want to keep their reputation.
What did you do before you left? What was your job, or what were you doing?
I'm civil engineering.
أنا اسمي علي الملقب مورنس. أنا كنت أعيش في السويد لمدة 13 عام أو 12 عام بالضبط، ولم أحصل على أوراق. حاصل على طرد وتسفير داخل أوروبا أو دول الشنغن.
أنا عمري 17 سنة، وأنا من مصر، وجيت من تركيا، بلغاريا، سلوفانيا، بوسنيا، كرواتيا، صربيا، إيطاليا، فرنسا.
I left my country to Libya. I spent a bit time there. And from Libya to Italy, from Italy to Switzerland, and finally to France. Like in Libya, they treat us like animals, smacking us, humiliate us. Yeah, like animals.
كان الشرطة الفرنسية في كالي بس مضايقة، يعني مضايقة، يطاردوا الشباب في الشوارع أو يطاردوا الشباب في المنتزهات أو يطاردوا الشباب في الأماكن التي يسمح بها المنام أو الجلوس، بس مجرد مضايقات. أنا أساساً أتيت إلى أوروبا أنا أحمل قضية واقعية، قضية يعني قضية شوية حساسة، قضية تخصني أنا نفسياً، عفواً تخصني أنا، يعني حامل قضية. فهذه القضية هي اللي دفعتني أن أتي إلى أوروبا، لكي في بلدي ليس لها باب النطق أو باب المعيشة، ولها مآرب أخرى أو لها قوانين أخرى أنها تجرم هذا الشيء أو هذا الفعل أو هذه القضية.
Last year was the deadliest year on record for channel crossings. NGO groups have counted 89 people dying while trying to cross. I didn't know that before filming this, and if you had asked me, I would have guessed a way lower figure than that. And I think that tells us something about the media coverage of migration. Each one of these deaths will have its own unique and horrible cause. Some people have been crushed in boats, some people have drowned at sea. But I think what you can say about all of them is that they all could have been prevented if we had safe and accessible routes for people to reach the UK and claim asylum. I think what we've also seen is, despite how cruel and oppressive the policing is here, it will never be able to stop people who are coming to the UK as a last resort, who are completely desperate. And I think it's ludicrous for Keir Starmer, Shabana Mahmood, Nigel Farage, Robert Jenrick to promise the British electorate that they can actually police this issue away.
أنا بحب المملكة المتحدة، يعني بحب شعبها جدا، بحب أي حد يكون من هناك وكده، إنها بلد متفوقة دايما على أي دولة. أنا بحب يعني نفسي نكون منها يعني.
UK people are so cooperative. There is a welcoming country for all of us. Their smiles like always on their faces. They're kind people.